Hi there, how are you?
Hi, good in yourself.
Not bad, not bad.
That's
Why
good.
are you not considered a native speaker?
Um, I did very bad in my interview. I was very nervous.
Yeah, but that's not just you. There are a lot of South Africans here that.
Most South Africans are actually bilingual, so we are considered non-native because we grow up bilingual, and my home language is actually Afrikaans, not English.
True, true. But still, kind of. Yeah, what do you think about that, you not being considered native? When it comes to English, of course.
Um, it I have thought of actually applying to become a native speaker. However, I have quite a lot of students that I see regularly, and I have seen some of the other teachers that have gone from non-native to native speakers. They lose all of their students,
Hmm.
and
I see,
the
I see. There
small
is a trade
change
off.
in
Got it.
pay,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, the small increase in pay, but you lose all of your
Got
students.
it. And the increase in pay doesn't compensate the loss.
No, not really, not
Not really.
really.
Okay.
Um, and unless you're doing it purely as a some teachers on native camp are on here for as a hobby, so for them it makes
Oh,
sense.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
For you, it's like a
While I'm
full-time job.
For me it's a full-time job. Yes.
Hmm. Do you think that schools like this one are beneficial for the learner?
I think so. I think so. I have I actually have people who are teachers themselves who actually come and take lessons on native camp. One of my students is a also works for one of the other companies as a English teacher, but she takes lessons on native camp from me.
Have you learned a foreign language yourself, besides, of course, English and African, which I don't consider?
No,
No, no.
no. Um, I, I've learned like two, three words in German, but it's mostly just greetings, common phrases that I've heard. Um, but
A
no, I
lot of
haven't learned
similarities
any foreign language.
between African and German, I assume.
Um, More between Afrikaans and Dutch.
Dutch, of
Afrikaans is
course,
more
of
based
course.
on Dutch.
Yeah, I know, I know.
There are a few German words that I can understand because of my Afrikaans heritage, but mostly Dutch.
This is the case with English as well.
Mm,
A lot of German words, being a Germanic language. A lot of French too, of
mm.
course. Yeah, I see. So you think there is a
Yes,
benefit? There is a
I
benefit.
think there is a benefit. Yes, yes. Especially, I have some students. They were at university. They actually had got their masters in English, but they never get to actually practice speaking English.
Okay, tell me
So
a bit
they can.
about practice speaking. That's something I could never understand. What is
Okay.
the practice part of it? Please tell me. What is the practice
Okay.
part? How can you practice speaking? The way I see it,
Simply enough.
it could be one of
Mhm.
two things you could practice. You could practice the production of ideas or
Mhm.
practice the production of sound.
Ah, so here's what happens with a lot of my Japanese students is they can read and write English perfectly. Okay. But when it comes to actually speaking English, because they never actually practice it, they never do it on a normal conversational level, their pronunciation is very bad, number one. And number two, they struggle to make a sentence, to convey a concept or an idea. When you're typing it out, it's easy. You can take your time and rework it continuously. Where if you are having a conversation like we are having now, it is a lot faster. So you don't have that
So,
editing
what's the
function.
practice point? You practice in the production of thought, the production of ideas.
Exactly. So
Just
we'll
think
take
about,
a
no, 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 just think for 5 seconds. Practice the production of
Mhm.
thought. Makes no sense. How can you practice the production of thought?
Okay.
Makes no sense. Don't you realize that?
Okay. Um, if you're having a debate with somebody, and let's say you are thinking in a different language, you now have to convey it from, instead of conveying it in Japanese, you have to convey it in English. Okay? So you have to find the right words to convey the concept or the
But how
message
can you
correctly.
practice? How can you practice it? And debate is a good word, you said. To engage in a debate, you have to have the knowledge. We can't engage, for example, I am from Bulgaria. I live in Japan, but I am from Bulgaria. We can't engage in a debate about Bulgaria during World War II in English with you. Can we?
No, I don't know anything about it. I could ask you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
So it's asking, you're listening, you'll be listening, I'll be talking. There'll be no debating. Even though you're a native speaker of English
Yes.
or
Okay.
bilingual, right?
Okay.
So the problem is,
yes, true.
You don't have the knowledge. There's no practice involved in debating about Bulgaria during World War II. Same thing the other way around. If we were to talk about South Africa during World War II,
I will concede that.
Yeah. So, practice.
No,
What is practicing exactly?
I concede your point.
What is practicing? There's no practice. You can't practice the generation of the production of thought. Makes no sense whatsoever.
You have a very valid point. So, what they're actually practicing is just conveying a concept or idea.
Nothing.
Okay.
Practicing nothing. They are under the illusion. So you just.
They can read and write English perfectly.
Repeated a very common myth. And you kind of corrected yourself a bit. You said that they're very good at. Even you said. Excellent? No, you didn't say excellent. You said they're very good at reading and writing. I think you even used a stronger.
They can read and write English perfectly.
Adjective. They're excellent. Anyway, you said they're very good at reading and writing, but bad at speaking. It's impossible to be good at writing, but bad at speaking. It's impossible. And you kind of corrected yourself because you said they could take more time. If your writing requires time, it means you're not good at writing.
Okay.
If you can write it, you can say it. There's no question about that. So your definition of good at should be uniform across all domains of language. Whatever your definition of good at.
Okay, if I may.
Please.
So I can take an article that is written in, let's take French as an example. Okay. I could read that article and pronounce most of the words.
Read. You will not be good at reading the article. You could read the article very slowly with very low level of comprehension.
Okay, but I can read the words
accurately with the proper pronunciation. You think so? Especially French. You said French with this insane spelling. Same applies to English.
Okay.
Imagine saying that you can read Japanese well. You are good at reading Japanese or Chinese, but you can't speak it. Is it possible to be able to understand kanji? To be able to read quickly? Again,
no.
The word fluent does not only apply to speaking. If you look it up, the word fluent applies to reading, writing, and speaking. So whatever your definition of fluent is, it should be uniform across all these three domains.
Okay.
So my point is, if your reading is fluent and your writing is fluent, your speaking will 100% be fluent. Unless you're some kind of pathological, what is the word? You're just shy, pathologically shy, some kind of, which means that you would be shy in your native language too. It would have nothing to do with the foreign language. Okay,
all right. Okay.
So please don't ever say that they are good at reading and writing, because they are not. I've tested it myself. Not just Japanese people. Anybody who says they're good at reading and writing but bad at speaking, I'm not saying is lying, is deceiving. him, herself.
Mm.
Good at reading means you can read
Okay.
smoothly, with fluidity and 100% comprehension, with the proper pronunciation, with the proper melody of the language. Test them next time. Give them a random text, something they see for the first time, and ask them to read it, and you'll see for yourself. There will be a lot of a lot of mispronunciation, a lot of stutter. 100%.
Yes. I have had students that they would article, or they'll move to a new article in the middle of a lesson, and they would read it, and then after they've read it, they would ask me what does a sentence mean, a specific sentence, because they don't understand the concept of the sentence the meaning of the sentence.
Exactly. So that's not fluent. That means you're not good at reading.
Yes. Okay. But they pronounced.
You're saying that they were even able to pronounce properly, yet not able to understand. I think this is extremely rare. Again, when we talk about English, French, German with this insane pronunciation, spelling, weird spell. If we talk about Spanish, there is a possibility, because I am Bulgarian. In Bulgarian, what you write is what you say. The exact same thing. Spanish is very similar. English, French, German, you can't fake it, basically, my point. Same with Japanese. You can't fake reading kanji.
No. Yes. I have to say, I've had that with German, where I've tried to read the instructions on a German packet, and my friend was laughing at me because he said what I'm pronouncing and what is written is two complete different things.
So that doesn't make you good at reading, right? So whatever your definition of good at or fluent in, apply it to all other domains. Because you said it, you said it yourself. When they write, they can, take more time, which doesn't make them good at writing. Makes them slow at writing. And with a lot of grammatical mistakes. It's not possible, again, especially when we talk about English with this insane spelling, which makes no sense whatsoever.
That I have to agree.
You have one life. Don't waste it.